So let me tell you guys a story. Let me tell you guys a story. Okay. So this week, you guys, there was something that was due for my daughter's school on today. Like today, the money was due today. And I knew before, I'm like, I'm about to figure this thing out, right? Like y'all, we all have been there, right? There's a moment where there's something that comes up. You're like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm gonna have to do this or that, whatever the case may be when it comes to like coaching or do some type of calls just to make up for the difference that would be due for her school. You know, she's in private school, so y'all already know how that can be. So anyway, I'm like getting myself prepared. I'm like trying to mentally like, okay, what do I do? How do I handle this? God literally tells me, don't try to figure it out. Y'all, one thing you must know about me, I am not the one to try to let God figure nothing out. Especially with finances. I'm going to figure a way out. I'm one of them type of women since I was a kid. Like financially, I'm going to figure it out. If I got to take up another... I was in my first year at school and I had 3 jobs. I was a housekeeper. I was an RA. I was doing everything, but that's just how I've always been. That's how my mama is. Like we just work. We're workers. We like to work. So anyway, I'm sitting here, trying to figure it out. That's not my thing to have faith for God to do that. So he's telling me like, just hold off. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, God, it's due the 20th. The bill is due the 20th. So I don't know what you gonna do, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I just don't. I don't know. But I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you because y'all know if you guys have watched anything that I've been doing, I'm in a season with God, and I really it's a wilderness season. It really, really is. God is teaching me so much about Him. He's teaching me so much about Him that He could be trusted. When the Israelites got into the wilderness, the whole point was for them to figure out if God could be trusted, right? That was the whole point. Was He going to be faithful to give manna every morning? So this was coming up. I knew it was coming up and it was on my spirit, right? But God kept telling me, don't trust me. Trust me. Trust me. So this week He had me write down the amounts that would be due. And so I wrote it down. I'm like, I got it there. And I was like, okay, God, all right. I'm hoping I'm hearing your voice because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure. Like, listen, I hope I'm hearing your voice. I hope it's not the enemy. Like, I'm like, God, I trust you. I trust you. So y'all yesterday night, I'm under attack. I mean, turmoil. I'm telling you, turmoil. Like the enemy is attacking me in every area that God is calling me to have faith for Him in. So I'm like, I'm struggling with this. I'm like, okay. And I watched this young lady's video, which I posted to my post. If you go to my my community post, you'll see that I posted her. She doesn't even know how much I needed her. That God used her to speak to me yesterday. So she goes, so I'm listening to that. I listen to it multiple times. I go on a walk. I'm productive. I'm able to get things done. So, okay. That night, I'm praying. I'm like, God, here it is. So He had me write down. Like, I wrote it down. Okay. So I wrote down right here. Okay. So it was written down. He told me to write it down. I'm not going to give you all like the details, whatever. Wrote it down. I wrote verses. Like I got Deuteronomy 3 through 13, Proverbs 6:31, 1 Samuel 36-8. I literally have it written out. What I needed, when it was due. I literally wrote it out. I wrote it on there. I wrote it on my board in my room. And I was like, okay, God, I trust you. Like, I trust you. All right, I trust you. Like, normally I'll try to, I'd take on some other calls. I would, do, work, like do something. I would figure out something. But God was like, trust me. Y'all, and this is an area that's hard for me to trust. Okay, so let's just start there. It's very hard for me to trust. I'm going to figure it out. Like, that's just how I am. And I know there's people on here that are just like me, that they you're going to figure it out. You're not going to allow circumstances to come down to where you decide, allow things to get to that point, if you know what I mean. Like, you hustle. That's whatever. So anyway, What happens next is, right? So I wake up this morning. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God. You know, he woke me up like he has me wake up early. So I wake up at 4:45, y'all. So I wake up at 4:45. I prayed with him. I laid back down a little bit, got back up, got my daughter ready for school, you know, did my normal routine. Then I go and I walk. Like he's had me going outside for walks. So I'm going out for a walk, y'all. He tells me don't listen to anything, just pray. So I've been listening. I didn't listen to anything. And then when I saw the sky, y'all. It literally is so beautiful. I'm gonna take a picture of it. It literally looked like heaven was touching earth. Like I can't even, it just didn't make, it was just beautiful. It was so beautiful. I literally, as I got to the top of the hill, the sun comes out from underneath the sky and I'm literally in like the sunlight. Okay. So I'm like, okay, God, I trust you. The enemy's trying to make, no, he don't got you. Because remember, the enemy wants to get you out of faith. That's the whole point. So he's going to create circumstances to make you think that it's not going to happen. Because if he can get you out of faith, he can get you out of promise. So I went and I was like, okay, God, all right. So I'm walking. I got the headphones in. I'm just walking around, y'all. Again, forgive y'all. I wasn't prepared to go on live today. I wasn't. But God was, I read Psalms 40 and I was like, I gotta declare the goodness of my Savior. So anyway, y'all. So I'm walking around and I'm listening. I'm just talking to God. And when the enemy comes up, I'm literally reciting Psalms 91. I am like staying fixed on him. My mind is staying fixed on him. I'm worshiping. So I do my walk. I get done. I basically go inside my car. I still listen to Bible stuff. You know, I've really been focused. There's been a fire that's in me that I cannot explain. So I'm listening to God. I go home, and as I'm driving in, something tells me to go check the mailbox. Well, I'm like, God, I don't want to check the mailbox because every time I check the mailbox, there's a new bill. And I'm trying to figure out the ones we already talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, but you know what? God told me to do it. I felt the prompting in my spirit. I go to the mailbox. I get out my car, go to the mailbox, open up the mailbox. Let me tell you something. Soraya, please. You had to do what? Okay, mommy cooked dinner, so mommy's gonna get you some food, okay? I just gotta make the broccoli. You can have a snack, but mommy's about to give you dinner. So anyway, y'all. So I go into the mailbox. There's one envelope there. One envelope. Y'all, let me tell you, I wrote down what was due on the day. I wrote it on my prayer wall in my room. I've already been fasting and praying, right? So I have it in both places. Today is the day. I go into my mailbox. There is one thing in my mailbox on the day that it's due, on the day that was necessary. One thing. I open up this letter. Y'all, this letter was due like 2 months ago. This check, whatever. This was supposed to come supposedly 4 to 6 months. It was some type of random check. A random check came in the daggone mail. That's what I'm telling you. A random check came on the daggone mail the day. I mean, the day. We're talking about 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 the day. I wrote down the day. Like, I wrote down the day here. I wrote down the day in my room. I'm literally like, I don't know how. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how. Like, God, I'm trusting you. Normally, I would have done a live. Y'all know I would have done a live on Monday. The way the YouTube algorithm, how we get... I'm telling y'all, I'm like, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. I am trusting you. And y'all, I had such a strange peace, and I was seeing purple flowers, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I see these purple flowers everywhere. I'm seeing like, and I'm like going up to I go to the mailbox. There's one thing in there. This thing that was that was supposed to come, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, came on the day. I'm done. The day. Can we? The day. The day. The day. The day. The day. Like the day that it was due. Y'all can't tell me there ain't a God. And it was not only just enough for what I'm looking, y'all. I'm like looking like I cannot. I literally, y'all. I get away from the mailbox. I just had. It was a mirror. That's a like I've now, mind you, I've had God has shown up for me. There's been many times God has shown up for me, y'all. I've experienced so many different things in my life. This was the this was the clearest miracle I've ever experienced in my. This was like he told me I'm showing up this day. Trust me. I'm like, okay, God. And the tendency is to try to make it happen, to try to do it in my own strength. I'm like, no, tendency, pipe down. Pipe down. I go into the mailbox. This check, only thing in there is a check that was supposed to have come, a random check, unexpected. That covered the amount and some. That covered the amount and some. I wrote down 320. I said, God, 320. Wrote on my thing, 320. I go walk around the park. God's telling him, giving me some type of strange peace. I'm like, okay, God, okay. I come home. He tells me to go check the mailbox. I go check the mailbox. There's one thing in that mailbox. It's a check, a random, unexpected check that covered that plus some. Covered that plus some. Family, you don't understand. I don't think you, I literally just experienced a daggone miracle. Like, I just saw the goodness of my Savior in the land of the living. I'm like, listen, I cannot. There are people right now that y'all, listen, I am not the type of person to have faith for certain things. I have faith in other areas, but walking in faith and saying I got faith are two different things. I can say I got faith, but I'm not literally opening up the door and allowing him to have the opportunity to show up for me in such a mighty way. So this was just a prompting in the spirit. And I'm like, okay, God, I trust you. I'm just gonna do what you've called me to do. Y'all, I literally did. I put my hands down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to leave room for you to move. Y'all, when I tell you that our God moved, when I tell you that our God moved, when I tell you that our God, there was one thing in the mailbox. One, because I just checked it. One thing came on the day that I needed it. The day he said it, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just trust me. And I did, y'all. I was struggling now. And the enemy tried to get me to look at the situation and say, I don't know. And he told you not to go live, like not to do content, not to do this on Monday. Like, I don't know. Y'all, the day of, the day I needed it.